Okay, guys, this is Volume 2, Episode 4. This is the body reveal, and you probably can't tell from here, it just looks like a bunch of plastic. What we are doing, and this is why I said this is not a very common body, we're doing... Oh, shoot. Can't get it. The Proline C10, 1966 C10 cab and bed for 12.3 inch wheelbase. And that's if you're running the bed. So it doesn't matter that we're at practically 324, 325 millimeter wheelbase. We're just going to be running the cab. I don't think anybody's doing this. I haven't seen this truck with the cab only, and I really haven't even seen this truck too common. This is what Pam chose. This is what my wife chose. She liked it. We went over all the bodies. We went over the J Concepts. We went over the Proline bodies. We even went over that axial one, and we checked out all the cab only bodies. And this is one where I was like, you know what, babe? I was like, I think this will work. This has a bed, but you could just use the cab. So let's open this thing up. This episode, I'm gonna try and get everything fit. This thing is brand spanking new. Bought it on Amazon for pretty much what it costs. Now, the one thing with Proline that... Oh, just take it out like that. Okay. Plastic's going. The one thing with Proline... Oh, is that a gnarly scratch? Come on. Come on. That's from the factory. That better just be in the protective thing. It's going to get scratched up, but that sucks if that's the case, but whatever. So, as you can imagine, it's going to come with all the details. The one thing with Proline, like I'm trying to say, I got distracted, is you got to cut this body out. So one thing I love about the J Concepts bodies are that, they come pre-cut and they're cut pretty damn perfect. And they're cheap. But Proline, this thing's, I could tell just gripping it. This is a heavy duty, very strong body. So it's probably going to take some spills. It's going to take some rolls. But when it's brand new, it's going to look gorgeous. And I'm really excited to get this thing all painted up. So, again, we're not going to use this bed. This bed is just going to sit somewhere in the garage. And maybe it'll be used for a future project. But for the most part, this bed is not going to be utilized. Maybe it could be for a different project. I don't know. I'm not worried about it. The point of this video right here is this beautiful thing right here. This cab. This truck's going to look so good. It might be kind of hard to catch on camera, but very thick, very heavy duty body. Like I said, the only thing is I gotta cut this thing out successfully. So that's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna set this bed aside. It's just something that's, it's gonna just sit around somewhere until it gets used for something, or maybe I end up finding a buddy who needs it for their build, or I don't know. Could just be for oh, really? Gimbal overheated, huh? In like a house that's like 70 degrees? Get out of here. This camera, man. Yeah, that's disappointing. There's no reason why this thing should be overheating like that. Sorry if you saw that glitch. This camera from DJI, the Pocket 2, is just... It's a little temperamental. Someday I'll change it, but it's what I got for now. So anyway, let me get to trimming. And I gotta fit it on this chassis over here. And we'll see how far we get today. This episode will probably be covered over a couple different days. It'll seem like it's all seamless to you guys, but, you know, I do work full-time job. I'm super busy in my life, and there's a lot. Tap to resume. Okay. All right. Is this still recording? All right. Let me stop this clip. It's glitching out. Anyway, to the next clip. All right, guys. I cut it out. It's looking good. It's pretty close to just the stock lines. I didn't really want to veer off, like trying to trim it how I think it maybe needs to be trimmed for the truck. I just wanted to get it into its, like I said, stock line form. I will say the Lexan on this thing was top quality. Proline bodies, I know you have to trim it, but it was really easy with my Lexan scissors. I've got a pair of Amazon Lexan scissors. One's curved, one's straight. Went through this thing like butter, but let me tell you, this body is thick. It is going to be a very strong body. Now, before my gimbal messes up on me again, ran into a little bit of an issue already, but I will figure this out with CAD and designing some sort of 3D printed piece. The body is big, and the truck bed that's not really designed for this truck, there's where the body would sit. Well, look at how far forward it is. Yeah, that's not happening. Really, the body kind of needs to sit. It kind of needs to sit there. And it's definitely going to have to get trimmed to be very low. We're probably going to have to trim way into that in the back to slip down far enough where it's going to fit right. So the wheel well... So basically what I need to do is I need to set this thing on with maybe some of the tire foams or whatever and underneath and get it in place kind of. And then I need to take some measurements with my caliper, and I'm going to attempt 3D printing some sort of part that will attach to the bed here, and then I'm going to create like a little kind of elbow thing that will, you know, kind of go up a little bit and then back to, which it would be probably right to about here. So I just got to measure and come up with some sort of design that can get onto these posts. I think that they, you know, it's an Allen head here, so it screws in somehow. So I'm sure I'll be able to figure out something to make this body work. Like I said, it's going to have to get trimmed in the back to... Yeah, I think that's perfect right there, which pretty much the back of the body lines up with the edge of this gray piece. So I know I could use that as reference to how far back it needs to go. Yeah, I have an idea. I know what to do. It's just going to take a little bit extra work, so that's something that I'm going to be working on tonight. Like I said, this is definitely going to take... It's going to be a process over a couple different days to actually get this body finalized. So I don't know when this episode's going to be releasing. I will release it on a Sunday so I have some consistency. But to do this thing right, I want to keep it clean. I definitely need it to go low. It's probably got to go... Oh boy, it's probably got to go 40 millimeters lower. So I'm definitely going to have to trim the back and mark it with some marker and do things like that. But the first things first, I need to come up with some sort of body mounting design. I'll print it out of PLA and I'm going to attach it to these body posts. So not a big deal. The gas tank's going to be kind of recessed into the body. I think that'll still look cool. I'm not worried about it. Like I said, this is kind of a one-off truck. So if you guys did build this truck exactly, the Proline cliffhanger body might fit this a little bit better. This is a massive cab. So it definitely is gonna look bitchin' when it's done. But I'm sure there's a smaller body, or actually, you know what might fit this perfect is that Aught-6 Wizard cab body. I don't know if you could buy that thing by itself. I think you can, and it's really small and short, so that actually might fit this kind of setup really well with this truck bed and the Meus Goldrush chassis. So anyway, let me get to thinking. I don't know if I'm going to be filming much more tonight. It might be a different day. We shall see. I gotta now design some parts and start 3D printing and mounting up some stuff and seeing if I can get something to work. So hopefully you guys like this video and how this thing's turning out. Let me stop the camera and start getting to work. Well, it took absolutely hours to get where we're at right now, and I'll explain the process of making it fit on this chassis, what needed to be done. So I didn't realize how large this Proline body was. It said for a 12.3 inch wheelbase. I guess that's true. But it is definitely not a comp body, but we're gonna make it a comp body, and we're gonna run it the way you see it right here. So this took a lot of work to get this to fit. I completely trimmed off the what would be like a chrome bumper part of the body. I think it looks good, and you might be noticing, well, the bumper of the chassis and the winch hook is behind the body, so that will need to be addressed later. I would say the ride height, definitely for the body, it's as good as it's gonna get. I think it looks pretty dang good. And then if you look back here, I designed and 3D printed some rear facing body mounts, and then I got clips in to hold the body on the back. And then you're gonna kind of, when it's painted, you'll kind of get a little peekaboo of the DSM gas tank kind of poking through the body right there, so you'll be able to see a little bit of scale. But it was not going to line up originally with those original body posts, which I took out, and now it's got those. So, and they're resting on the bed, and they got a nut with a lock washer. And then on the front body posts, I had to add a couple more pucks and get a 30mm screw each side to get the body and the ride height just right. So I did a little bit of clearing. It clears the megalithics. Little bit of articulation, and it barely rubs, but I think that's tolerable. Yeah, so this is in Ghost Ride form. To be determined what my wife wants to pick for a color. For tonight, I'm going to stop here, and then we'll pick up tomorrow when I'm done with work or whatever. She'll check it out and decide on what color we're going to go with, or which still might be a surprise to you guys until it's done. But at least I'll know what she's feeling color-wise. And it might have something to do with those wheels. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. She's kind of bounced the idea around a pearl white. You know, she's bounced the idea of having a white roof and maybe a color. There's been a couple different ideas, so I don't know if this is technically comp legal for class 2, because technically the bumper's on there. I don't know. The bumper's there, but it's not sticking out the front. It's just not gonna happen. It would have looked goofy pushing this body any further back. Actually, the way it sits right now, it looks pretty damn clean, so I'm not worried about it. I think it looks sick. Yeah, the ghost ride form, it's almost see-through. You almost can't tell, but yeah, this took a lot of work, guys. This actually was, I would say, out of building a truck, the fitment of a body is actually one of my least favorite things. I like painting them when you don't screw up, but I like painting them, but like fitting it and measuring and all that stuff, it you know, you got to really take your time, because once you make a cut, that's kind of it. There's no going back. So it's always good to start with a little, and then, you know, if you have to cut more, you can cut more. But when you cut too much, you can't put anything back. So that didn't happen on this one, but, you know, I've done a little bit of that in past builds. So anyway, I think it's a wrap for the night, but not for the video. So I think the video is probably just gonna all be one, where talk to my wife, get her opinion on a color, and then I'm probably gonna paint it and then show you guys the final reveal. So that's probably what this is gonna be a part of. So yeah, there's Ghost Ride form. Yeah, and again, the rock sliders, the way they are, I wasn't about to just butcher the body to like line up the body with the slider. I mean, I know, yeah, I just want it to look clean. So I'm sure there's guys out there that would just zip it, but I'm just not comfortable doing that. It would probably still look really good, but I'm just not feeling zipping the body like that. So we'll see if we're running it and it's getting caught up on rocks. I'll probably end up cutting it. But until then, I think it would be wise to just keep it the way it is. It looks super freaking clean. So yeah, hopefully you guys have enjoyed the build so far. You know, if you want to do a mock-up build, you know what you're in for with this thing, guys. It's a lot of work. So no, it looks good. It looks good. I think the front end of this truck is probably my favorite part. It's just a really good looking body, but it could have been a little bit smaller. I don't know if that would have messed around with the scale look of it at all. Actually, I don't know, man. It fits pretty damn good. I'm going back and forth. It's hard to say. It's a little murky right now with fingerprints and my sweat and things like that. I'll definitely prep it for paint when the time comes. But yep, this is a wrap for this video, and I think this is going to be another 4-episode build series where I just include everything into one. I think that's smart. Unless I, you know, can't get paint in time, then obviously I'll release this portion of the video, and then the 5th episode would be like paint reveal and all that stuff. So anyway, to the next clip, or this might be the end of the video. I don't know. Either way, see you to the next one. Okay, a little update. You know what? I was at work today, and I kept just thinking, man, I was like, man, I don't like how that bumper is behind the body. I was like, how is that just going to work? That's not Class 2 Sorca approved. And I don't know if you guys see. Is that bumper in front? It is. You see that part in there? Maybe I can get up in there. I can't. I might have to take the body off. But long story short, if you can kind of see, I 3D printed a little piece in there that will be a front drop down bracket bumper mount thing specifically designed for this chassis, this vehicle, this body, this exact cut setup, exactly what you're seeing here. So I just started to use my brain at work and think of a way how I can get that bumper out in front, and honestly, it looks really good. It still has excellent approach. And that's what I wanted. You know, I just wanted that bumper to be out there and functioning, and that way, you know, Sorka can't really get me for anything, or my wife for anything, except for these things right here. I guess, you know, the megalithics are banned. I don't know anybody going by those rules. So one thing I did lose, I had a front cross brace up there, but since that thing's so rigid the way it's set up, I just put the cross brace in between the rear shocks to just brace this a little bit better back here. So at this moment, this is how this truck is going to be sitting. And then wifey just needs to decide a paint job, and I'll get right on to it. So we're almost done with this thing. It's been a wonderful build. I've had to think a little bit, like with the rear body mounts that I designed and 3D printed, and then this front bumper mount thing that I've designed and 3D printed, and then just fitting the body to this chassis that it's not really designed for. You know, getting that bed in there that's not really designed for this. It came out clean, and you know, I'm stoked I got to use exo cage slider for the rear Meus axle. I don't know if you guys have seen that. That's going to be sweet. It's going to slide right off the rocks. This truck is just bitchin'. I mean, I like it every bit as much as Big Blue, or maybe even better. Hard to say. I'm just stoked my wife gets a class 2 comp truck, and now we can go crawl together and go comp together. So anyway, this is the update for the video. This is the next day. Like I said, I just gotta figure out paint scheme with my wife, and then go find the colors and start putting some paint on this thing. Yeah, it's so damn sweet. This thing's excellent. I love how it turned out. I might do a little thing here. I think I'm going to stop this clip, and I'm going to put Big Blue right next to this thing. I have to. Okay, guys. Here's the trucks together. They look very, very close. The only thing I'm noticing is the 4.75 tusks look a little bit bigger than the megalithics, but I think it's because the tusks have my inserts in them, which are, you know, they're a little bit more stiff than the Injora greens, which are really soft. So the megalithics have a more aired down look. But these are the trucks together. There's Big Blue on my chassis, and there's the Goldrush. We do not have a name yet for the truck. I'm assuming that will come at the very end. But what we do have is she has picked a color. It's the Tamiya PS47 Pink Gold Iridescent. I believe I have to back this with black. So this is going to be the color that is going to go on this truck, and it is probably going to look really freaking sweet. So there you have it, guys. I got to find that paint. I don't want to order it online. I'm going to call around hobby shops tomorrow and see if I could figure this out. And soon Big Blue is going to have a buddy here. Boy, that Proline body's way wider than the Tusk. That's definitely different. But they both fit really well. They both look really good. Their undercarriage is about, oh no, I think the, oh gosh, I almost dropped the camera. I think the Meus Goldrush has way more ground clearance underneath. I haven't measured it, but man, these things look sweet. I'm stoked with how the bumper came out too with that bracket. That worked out. Yeah, I'm kind of speechless right now. I can't really say much. But anyway, you guys see what I chose for Big Blue. It's a Tamiya metallic blue. I think it looks sweet. this thing's going to have a really, really pretty paint job. It's going to look awesome. So tune in. This one may or may not come out before our vacation when we take off. Hopefully it comes out before then, but if it comes out after, which would be the Sunday after the 26th is when we get back, it would be because I'm waiting on paint that I had to order and I didn't have any luck finding that paint, which is fine. So yeah, there you have it. Until the next clip, this is all going to be the 4th episode. And you know, soon you're going to see this truck completed. Definitely learned a lot during this build, and I hope I'm just better for the next one. Can't wait to see this thing on the rocks. It's going to be sweet. So, alright guys, catch you in the next one. Welcome back, guys. This is the next clip of the final episode. There it is. I can't even believe it's done. I'm going to try and get the color change in here. I don't think the camera is going to quite pick it up, but it is a pink gold Tamiya iridescent. PS47 is the number, and I backed it with PS5 black, and then I also used the Tamiya smoke for the windows. And it's just, oh, there's a little bit of pink. You got to kind of get down low. It's so badass. She picked great colors to match this chassis. This is the final viewing of it. This is it. It's on little jack stands that I printed up that I made. I absolutely love this truck. We're going to have to put it on the scales at the very end and go over the numbers. And, you know, I think I said in one of the clips, this is going to be heavier than Big Blue. I am wrong. Big Blue is 3,300 grams. This was right under 3,000. So with the body, it's going to be just barely over 3,000. So just a smidge lighter than Big Blue. There you could see the bumper. I ended up getting it out in front with that bracket that I created that you could maybe see up in there. I don't know if you could kind of see the bracket I made for the bumper. 3D printed that. It just looks damn good. This truck is such a show-stopping beauty. I absolutely love it. This body is killer. Proline makes a really beautiful body. Very detailed. But I will say this. I like that J Concepts does a pre-cut. That's really, really nice and very helpful. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get as much movement for the color so you guys could see. Again, I don't think this camera is doing this color justice, but like watch when I turn off the light. It's just gonna go pink. Pink. It's bitchin'. This color is frickin' sweet. I love it, and I think it goes really well with the wheels. It's not an exact color match, but it's just sweet. I love it. I'm stoked for my wife. She has not seen it yet. She's on vacation right now at the river. I'm here house sitting cats, hanging out by myself, doing my little projects. So I'm definitely gonna get this video uploaded. As you'll know, it will be by this Sunday coming up, which you're going to know because you'll be watching it past then. So, yeah, let me whip out the scales, stop this clip, and we'll see our final weight with battery, with the body, with everything that you're going to see with the truck. Let's see where we're at. It's probably still going to have that 61.39% or 62.38, whatever it was. Heck, who knows? Maybe with the body on it evened out right to 60-40. That would just be damn sweet. And again, when Big Blue and this one go head to head, it's going to be like Clash of the Titans. At least in my world, that's what it's going to be like. So, all right, bear with me. Let me get these scales out, get them connected to my phone, and let's see what our final weight is, and then we'll do our closing thoughts on this thing. Okay guys, we are teared out, scales are set up. I'm gonna kind of have to just set this thing down. I don't have the tripod out, and hopefully it doesn't fall. And let me get this truck on the scales, and let's see where we're at. Okay, that's about even. Yeah, I'd say that's even. Get the suspension settled. Okay, we are still at a 62.38. It's showing 49.51 weight bias left to right and 51.48 cross weight with a grand total of 31.36. So just slightly under what Big Blue is. I'm stoked. I think this truck is yet again going to be killer on the trail, killer on the rocks. I think my wife is going to have an easy time controlling it. It's got a real wide stance, bagged out tires, so she'll be going up and down. Side hilling to be determined. Actually, let's see here if that fixed anything or evened anything out, or no, it's pretty much where it's at. I probably don't have it perfectly on the scales. I could maybe adjust that and center out the wheels a little better. It's kind of hard to get this thing on a first drop perfectly on the scales. There's that one. And then that one could work under just a smidge. Let's see. Oh yeah. So I just had the... Oh wow. Okay, it's showing pretty clean on the cross weight, pretty clean on the left to right. Now it's showing 63.37. This thing definitely has some front weight biased. And now the total weight's 32.16. So I guess the way I had it set on the scale, I was robbing a little bit of weight. It is almost right at, it's about 100 grams shy of Big Blue on the weight. So, I mean, literally, you know how I have the ice chest and everything in the back of that truck? If you added a little scale thing in the back, ice chest, whatever, this truck would be right there. My cat's got the zoomies. You want to see little Hella's going crazy? What are you doing, Hella? What are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, yeah. She's going crazy. You want that? Anyway. What a beautiful truck. I seriously swear, I don't care that I got a nice camera. This is a nice little camera, this little DJI. The camera's not doing this thing justice. In my opinion, it's just not. It's so sweet. I'm really excited for how it turned out. I love the little rear body clips. They're kind of sleek. Those little rear body mounts are very sturdy. I'm digging that front mount for the bumper, and you know, I was wondering, oh, that's not really class 2. So really the only thing going against this truck for class 2 Sorca rules, I don't think anybody's truly following Sorca rules, which is fine with me. It's the tires. I think the megalithics are the only thing where they might be going, oh, you can't run that. If that's the case, I think what I'm going to do is eventually for this truck, I'm going to purchase a pair of backup tires, maybe on some Tuss or whatever's not banned and really good. Like, shoot, those J Concepts rock bumps right now are not banned, right? And those are killer tires from what everybody's saying. Or there's whatever that A-Main Hobbies off-brand tire that just came out that's super good. Or shoot, even the Endura Klingons would be probably a good bet to have as a backup set, just in case if they're trying to turn her away, because, you know, she's interested in running this truck. So right now, enjoy the prettiness, enjoy how beautiful it is. It will get scuffed up, it is going to get scratched, it is going to get dirty, shit might break, and I'm just going to fix it and clean it up. But yeah, that's the end of this story, this chapter, this build series. Might be a minute until I get to another build series. I can't just keep blowing money left and right like I've been doing. But I've got my ideas. So I think I'll probably be doing more like, you know, competitive runs, test videos, maybe testing some parts here and there, stuff like that, or 3D printing RC part series, something like that, just to try and save some money and not blow all my money building trucks. I eventually would like to sell these things so that way I could recuperate what I'm putting into it so I can continue making content. I think that's a good way moving forward. I do have a brother that I probably would love to build him a class 2 1/10 scale truck. I already talked about doing his little 1/24 scale base camp and hopping that thing up. You know, I mean, shoot, my mom probably want a big old truck of her own, you know. So there's probably some family members that will probably end up with some stuff at some point. But I just, you know, I don't know where I'm going next. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy the build series. I think there's probably a couple of you that maybe are tuning in for the whole time. If not, I'm not worried about it. I think eventually these videos, somebody's going to find some of these little gold pieces of gold and watch these videos and see the content that I'm putting out there. Yeah, I'm just thrilled and blessed to do this. Thank you for everything. Thank you for watching. You guys are keeping me motivated. Every view I get is keeping me motivated to continue the channel, and it will just lead to more intricate builds like this. I would say this is definitely one of the unique Meus Goldrush builds out there, and I'm proud to say that it's my wife's, and she chose a lot of the things on here, and I'm stoked for it. So catch you guys next time. Maybe a minute till I get another video out. I got some test videos to do. Big Blue's got to get out on the rocks. I've done a lot of little upgrades to him, and I think he's really going to do well when I take him out. This thing's got to get to the rocks. My wife's build series volume 1 that's got to get out on the rocks. So there'll be some videos up and coming. The weather here in SoCal is not great. It's very hot. Personally, I work out in the heat. I'm a farmer. I get so much outside time, it's hard for me to want to go out and be in the heat. So if I do any filming, it's probably going to be super early morning or potentially right at dusk, you know. Anyways, peace out. Catch you next time. Next time. Thank you so much for everything. And yeah, to be determined. What does the future bring? I will say I'll wrap up this video with I love gold. Okay, catch you next time. I'm done with the corniness. Peace.